Well, hello there, YouTube. It's Ro here. Thank you for visiting You Grow Ro. If this is your first time, I hope you'll consider subscribing at the end of this video. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. Earlier today, I made this awesome harvest outside of all of my different herbs, and part of those herbs were 2 different varieties of parsley. I grew the Green Dream parsley. I got the seeds from Burpee, and then I grew also the Giant of Italy parsley, which I believe I got the seeds from Baker Creek. I decided that I wanted to, because that parsley is so good, both of them are, they're very tasty. I decided I wanted to use them fresh instead of taking this time to dry them up. And the recipe I decided to use them for is chimichurri. This is some yummy stuff. If you haven't had it before, you should definitely give it a try, especially if you're growing your own parsley at home. So what chimichurri is it's an uncooked sauce used as an ingredient in cooking and as a table condiment for grilled meats. It was found originally in Argentinian and Uruguayan cuisines, and it has become widely adopted in most of Latin America. But you can do the sauce in green and red varieties. Today I'm going to be doing a green chimichurri, and I'm going to be using a recipe that I'm just sort of coming up with myself. I'm using what I have, and it's going to be delicious. So if you're interested in learning how to make chimichurri, stick around and see how I do it. One great thing about chimichurri, besides how delicious it is that the ingredients that you use for this recipe are very basic. They can be found anywhere, I believe. And if you don't already have them in your refrigerator, that is, or in your pantry. To make my chimichurri today, I'm going to be using 2 types of parsley. And then I'm also going to be using some white wine vinegar, although I think if you were doing it authentically, you'd use red wine vinegar. Need some garlic and some salt, some pepper, some oregano, some olive oil, and some red pepper flakes. Now, some recipes add shallot or onion, and some recipes add lemon juice, but I'm not going to be adding either of those things in my chimichurri today. So to start, I washed my parsley off, and then I removed the stems. You could leave those in if you wanted to, but I'm not. I decided to remove mine. I'm going to take my stems and dehydrate them, and I'll add them to some salt to make a parsley salt. Another idea would be to use those, chop them up real finely, and use those stems to flavor some vinegar or some oil. You could do the chopping in a processor, but I prefer to do mine in a hand chop. I like having the coarser cut rather than getting something more finely cut when you use a processor. Now here I've pulled out my second variety of parsley, which is called the Giant of Italy parsley. I got the seeds from Baker Creek, also known as rareseeds.com. And this parsley is said to be high in essential oil contents with a stronger flavor than the curly leaf parsley. This variety is a good source of vitamins A, C, and K. It's also frost hardy. So now I've added my garlic to my chopper. If you look into my bowl with the parsley in it, you'll see that I've already gone ahead and chopped up 6 cloves of garlic and added that to my bowl. In my hands right now, I went outside and I picked some fresh oregano, and I'm just removing the leaves from the stems. Now I'm just going to finely chop these oregano leaves the same way that I finely chopped the parsley leaves. I want everything pretty uniform and very, very small. Here I'm adding about a half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. Between the parsley and the oregano, I had, I don't know, a cup and a half of parsley, quarter cup of oregano, and now I'm adding 3 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. Again, you could also use red wine vinegar, which I think is the authentic way to do it. You could also probably substitute a balsamic vinegar if that's what you had. I actually have some balsamic vinegar, but I don't care for it, so I didn't use it. I went with the white wine vinegar instead. And then here now I'm going in with my salt. I'm just using a fine pink Himalayan salt that I had. I'm just measuring it by feel, sprinkling it on top of my herbs and garlic. And then I'm going to be adding some fresh ground black pepper. Again, I'm not measuring, I'm just winging it. I didn't have a recipe, but I will be putting one down into the description for you guys. And now here's my final ingredient, which is some crushed red pepper. which is a reminder to me that I need to make some more. I have those rooster peppers hanging in my kitchen. I still got plenty of them, and they would make a very fine crushed red pepper, so I need to put that on my list of things to do this weekend. But luckily I had some of that Badia crushed red pepper to use for the time being. So you just go ahead and mix it all up. I didn't think the consistency was right, so I wound up adding some more oil. I also went in with some more red pepper flakes, but this is, use as much or as little as you want. Do it to your own liking. Like I said, I added more oil because I felt like my chimichurri was a little dry, and then I wanted to add some more red pepper flakes, and so I did so. I think this goes without saying, but make sure you're tasting things as you're going along so that you can make adjustments as you see fit. As you can see here, I threw in a little bit more salt as my final adjustment. At this point, my chimichurri is done. I'm just going to put this in a container with a lid and then pop it in the refrigerator overnight, and we'll be good to go. And this makes a lot, so I'll probably be freezing some of it. There it is. All right, friends, that does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you give the recipe a try. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Happy growing. Bye-bye.